Welcome back. Anyways, thank you for 12 subscribers. I never thought I'd get this far because I did not plan this YouTube channel to get this far. Like, I don't know why people were demanding such another horrendous video, but here we are. I was asked quite a bit, and also quite condescendingly, why I ate the microphone in my last video, and my answer to that is because I can. And shameless promo, my sister has an Etsy, of which you should check out in the description below or in the About Me section and YouTube. You should check it. It's stickers and some that I even designed. I want to formally apologize for the lighting that has taken place in this video. Please forgive me and bear with me until the end. This is what we're dealing with today. A little background. Back in April, I decided to do Running Start. If you don't know what that is, basically you take college classes while you do high school, or while you're in a high school. Anyways, I chose to do an oil painting class like the little Picasso I am. Just kidding, I could never. Oh, did I mention oil painting class? The medium I'm scared of using, and here I am using it, and oh boy, do I have so much to learn. This is one of the actual first painting piece assignments that we have this quarter. We basically have to do an analogous, wait, how do you pronounce that? Analogous. Interesting. Anyways, you basically do a painting in which you take 3 consecutive colors like red, orange, yellow, or green, blue, purple. Not any red, green, and purple because that's not right next to each other on the color wheel. Has to be consecutive, has to be right next to each other. And we take those 3 colors, or 4 colors actually. We take those colors to paint a piece with 3 random sized objects. We had to take 3 sketches of different perspectives with a lot and a little of negative space. These were my 3 sketches and pictures, and I really liked how the close-up shot looked, so I decided to paint that one. The colors I tried using were yellow, green, and blue. I took a teal color and overlaid it on the photo. This is how it turned out. I asked the professor prior to the painting if I could paint on a larger canvas of my own for the sake of this video. The assignment was originally used to paint on a 9x2 canvas pad, but I thought that wouldn't be good for the context of YouTube and viewership and such. The professor said it was fine. Okay, let's get on with the painting. One thing out of the way, I did not use the devilish palette from last time. I was instructed to use a glass frame for like pictures frames and stuff. But anyways, prior knowledge according to my previous video, I'm not great with making backgrounds. And for this assignment, we didn't necessarily have to make a background. It was more so I did it incorrectly because we had to have someone hold a towel behind the objects or like a blanket. But I didn't have anyone to achieve those standards. Little note to whoever sees this, I didn't show the process of the sketches because the fatigue of already having to paint with a new medium was setting in. I was going to show the sketch on the canvas, I just didn't because that's too much. I'm pretty sure this video will be long enough, so you're gonna have to trust me that I actually drew on the canvas. When I first put the oil paint on the canvas, I was a little surprised at how extensive this paint can cover. Even a little can do a lot of damage.
No, that's a lot of damage!
I did not know what I was doing. I kind of just followed the lighting in the picture and tried translating that onto the canvas. And if I'm going to be honest, it was fun. The way I could blend so easily was a great factor. The paint was already there to let me blend because it was always wet. Although I do have a bone to pick with how wet it was because you can see the strokes. I personally don't like when you can see the strokes in my paintings. So I guess not really a bone to pick, but a crumb to pick with how wet it is. I would like to take account for my lack of preparation when painting. I had to mix the background colors about 3 times because I kept running out of the background color. The shadows in the painting were kind of fun. I just believe that it was cool. Not much to say about the background instead of basic. It was already an abomination from the beginning. I knew from then on out, oil paints would be the death of me. This painting would only strengthen my statement. I painted the dinosaur first, and let me tell you, I was not having it at all. I hate it so much. I decided to make the dinosaur in my painting all one color to give myself less of a challenge when painting because this is my first time with oil paints. I later looked at the example my professor posted and his looked so good. I don't understand how he did that. I don't even know what I did wrong, but I kept slapping the paint on the canvas, just waiting for a good outcome. Obviously, we can't have that here on my channel, so it didn't work out. I was so close to throwing away the canvas and restarting the entire assignment, and I turned off the camera. However, I regrouped and tried to look at the painting from a different aspect, which helped a little. I realized that I shouldn't have used the objects because they have so much more texture than the ones in the sample painting, and all these colors were just, it was just interesting. I was setting myself up for failure the moment I signed up for this class. I understood that I had to retry and stop adding all these different colors. Sheesh, man. At this point in time, I remade the green, which came out to be a lighter shade, and only limited myself to 3 colors, with the exception of black and white, and decided I shouldn't be adding any other colors to this piece. I decided not to record after I turned the camera off because I was already distraught by my stupidity. You'll just have to wait till the next clip to see the Disastersaurus Rex. On this school day evening, I decided on taking a shot at painting the plant, just so I could save the easiest for last. I began analyzing the distinctive highlights and shadows and kind of went off from there. Early on, the painting was going a little as planned. I really liked the way the dark and lights on the vase blended, although I do think the lighting was very incorrect in this circumstance. But I mean, it was pretty decent in my opinion. Moving on, I began painting the leaves, which was the best part of the painting. Okay, maybe not the best part. I do have a love-hate relationship with the leaves because you can't really tell how many leaves there are, but I still like the leaves. Blending was so fun with the highlights, 10 out of 10, I would recommend. I didn't run into too much with the leaves per se, but I just took an interest with how I executed it. Granted, this really made my epiphany of this painting not being uniform only manifested into something larger than I could imagine. It was terribly abnormal because the 2 objects I painted so far did not come together as one in accord. That didn't let my spirits down though, because this day wasn't too bad. Luckily, it wasn't just a setup to build my confidence up and then destroy it a couple days later. Ooh-wee! This day. I might be over-exaggerating a bit, but my gosh, I hated this finish. I hate that I finished off this way. Disappointment is just spewing out of me at this point. This object in real life is made out of clay, I think. You know, I don't even know, I don't care, but I couldn't make the dog look realistic at all. I first laid down a layer of desaturated baby blue in the parts that are to represent the crevices that separated each part of the dog. Insanity began turning the knob at the door and was budging its way into the tiny sliver of door that was ajar. Then I decided to add in the baby blue. Insanity made its way to the painting and the blending isn't what got me to go mad. It was the positioning of the mouth. I painted the rest of the dog not long after and terribly hated it. The immense energy my aura was giving off was full of garbage and intense dislike for this dog, but I kept trekking on the path that was set ahead of me, painfully finishing the painting on an unsatisfying foot. If you hadn't caught on, I decided to make the dog all one color because I didn't want to have the difficult time of making the dog different colors and stuff. I was already tired from when I laid the first stroke of paint on the canvas with the dinosaur, and I needed a break. I truly do not like it, and if you like it, no you don't, stop lying to yourself. And that's how I finished the analogous painting. There's so much wrong with this painting. Not like we just talked about a huge mistake a couple seconds ago. First off, the background was so plain. It was so plain and bland, just not flavorful. I couldn't taste anything but dry, bitter nothing. The way I painted some of the lighting was interesting, to say the least. On the dinosaur, I'm 1000% sure that the lighting doesn't even work like that. Not to mention the countless amount of details I left out. On the vase, the lighting is a bit questionable and could be better, but it's whatever. The uniformity that I was hoping for, because it's an analogous painting. Like, look, this is what an analogous painting should look like. How can something as simple of a task as painting something 3 colors turn into this? I don't know. It's just my lack of attention to pay to the directions. Just the uniformity of this piece is horrid. It puts a distasteful tingle in my mouth. However, the plant, in my opinion, looks cool. I really liked how the leaves turned out. It's my #1 favorite part of this piece, and actually the only thing I like about this piece. I really like the blending aspect of them, but I do miss my acrylics and how fast they are dry, which was a big problem because I had a problem with overlaying and layering and stuff, because blending It was always wet. I honestly just need to practice more with oil paints. I should just retitle this video, How to Not Make an Analogous Painting. Here are some other clips during my journey. The cat I live with, Coda, stepped on my canvas and onto my sister's bed. Step in my painting. I tried showing the satisfying process of cleaning up the paints, but my cinematography is janky. My little sister's bed is such a trooper for being my recording studio because some things may have happened. Don't tell my little sister about something. Yeah, don't tell her. I don't know if you can see, but I call this piece, oh crap. I'll paint the sides of the canvas when the painting dries. I'll also update you on what I got with the assignment whenever my professor decides to grade this. Don't forget to check out my sister's Etsy in the link in the description. This might be my last video if I even upload anymore. It'll just be repeating videos of paintings and me talking. But we'll see in the future if I ever decide to release another video. Thank you so much for watching, and that is it for me. Thank you.